Good morning. It's the 1st of June. Welcome. It's also Monday. Definitely Monday's got a different feel about it today, as I'm sure some of you will have children going back to school today, and you'll be feeling a little nervous about that. Open air markets opening from today. Automotive retail also opening up today, and also some non-essential retail. Certainly feels very different today, and it feels like the world is starting to return to whatever that phrase, starting to hate this phrase, actually, the new normal looks like. Anyway, so as you're getting back and reopening your businesses, you'll be thinking about your sales and marketing. And one of the questions we want to pose today is your sales and marketing actually working, and how do you know? Because, well, let's get into the discussion. So I'm joined today by my colleague. Let's get him up on the screen. Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm happy because it's been an amazing weekend with the sunshine, but also because me and some friends at the end of today, I hasten to not add, not in the middle, are going to have some beers.
Way, so some return to normality for you.
Yeah,
Good for you. Definitely feels like that today.
yeah, it does.
So, Mark, the folks are going to be thinking about getting their businesses as we start to kind of get back to normal now. Children going back to school, starting to get our businesses back up and running, and we're keen to talk to people about the effectiveness of their sales and their marketing. Right.
Absolutely.
So, and because we see that so many businesses are started by people that are really, really good at what they do. And that doesn't necessarily include sales and marketing, right? So it's really important that the folks get their sales and marketing right. So let's see if we can get some slides up on the screen. If I hit that button there, Mark, there we go. Hopefully we've got some. So we want to kind of suggest to people that the first step about getting their sales and marketing right is to start testing and measuring. So what do we mean by that?
The hard work in all of this is just the absolute decision to focus on numbers. And the whole I've noticed with lots of conversations with business owners, I was absolutely in the same place. Is you think that marketing and sales is an expense, you think you got to do it, so you do it. You might put in some ads in, might do some radio ads, some newspaper, paper ads, or you might do digital ads. And there's a sense that I've got to do it because I should, with no real testing about whether it's working. Not being prepared just to cut it in case, because there's a little bit of fear. If I cut it, maybe it won't work. But no real testing about whether it is working. Does that make sense, Mark?
Absolutely.
So the way through is very, very rigorous, low risk, short-term trials in testing, in testing and measuring within marketing campaigns. So
Absolutely. But starting Mark from a premise that marketing and lead generation and sales is actually a numbers game. Right, too many people focus so much on the creative side of marketing, but actually it's just a numbers game, right?
True.
So, and it kind of, why do we call it a numbers game? Because it comes from that kind of proverbial cash machine that we so often refer to. If you kind of imagine that, if you could, every time you could put £20, if there was a cash machine and every time you put £20 in, you got £100 out, how many £20 would you put into that cash machine? As many as you've got. And it's exactly the same for marketing, right? So the marketing is the £20 that we put in, and the £100 is the sales that we get back, right? So we just think of this as a numbers game, but so many business owners don't do the testing and the measuring in terms of how many 20 quids they're putting in and how many 100 quids they're getting back, right? It just kind of boils down to that.
We all heard of the sales funnel, and I think it's this that's the key to it, Mark. It's having the numbers, the clear numbers at the top of the funnel. Who have I contacted, for example, or who has seen the ad, or who have contacted? Then how many discussions have I had? Then how many proposals have I put together? We can funnel down, and knowing which campaign generates which the fastest flow through those numbers is absolutely crucial. And once you've got it, as you say, you just got a marketing budget and you're buying customers.
So we hear too often, people saying things like, "Oh, Facebook doesn't work for me." No, Facebook for generating leads and generating sales is absolutely fantastic. It's just that it's not necessarily being used right. And it's the same for, in the good old days when we had yellow pages. It's gone now. Same for LinkedIn, same for all the other lead generating strategies. It's not that they don't work, it's just that they're not working properly, right? So why don't we go through? We'd always advocate that people, the great thing with sales and marketing is that it's about trial and error. So we'd always advocate that people run multiple marketing strategies to generate their leads. So why don't we, you referred a minute ago to a funnel. So why don't we just kind of go through a few stages in terms of what that conversion process might look like, shall we?
Sure.
So, Mark, kind of, let's imagine we've got 2 ads running.
Okay, same price. Even I can understand that. Those 2 ads cost the same price there, Mark. That's good.
Yeah, 2 ads, each costing £1,000, right?
Well, these could be campaigns, Mark, of course. Sorry to interrupt. They could be digital campaigns or
Could
whatever.
be campaigns. They could be campaigns, yeah. So we're running a couple of ads. We paid £1,000 for each of them. And for so many people, their testing and their measuring stops there.
Yeah. You're right.
For the next step, we're saying, well, we need to track how many leads are generated from those ads, right? Because how do we know if they're working?
And this is the question, how did you hear about us? And there's so many people I meet don't ask the question, don't rigorously follow up the question, and it is so crucial to know.
Absolutely. No, you're right. It's such a simple question to ask, especially if we're doing it online. It's a simple question to put in a form or wherever you need to put it. But it's just important to make sure that we know this. So we run 2 ads. They cost £1,000 each. And ad A generates 1,000 leads. Ad B generates 100 leads. So at this point, which is the better ad?
Yeah, at this point, you're thinking, I'm going to stop B. This is a waste of time. I've got 1,000 leads from A. But it's the story's not yet finished, right, Mark?
No, the story's not finished. So let's go through the next step. So the next thing we're interested in is the conversion, right? What do we mean by that, Mark?
So what we've got there is quite different conversion rates, haven't we? These are the leads that become customers.
Yeah.
So 10% of the A's have now actually bought something from us, and actually half of the B's. Looks like B's pretty effective. It's converting half the people that it goes out to, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're interested in here is what's the conversion ratio? So the conversion ratio on ad A, we generated 1,000 leads and got 100 conversions. So 1 in 10 converted. The conversion on B is 1 out of 2, a half. Exactly as you said. So this is a much better converting ad, as you said.
Yeah, at that point you might be tempted, I'm going to get rid of A because B's converting people more. But the story hasn't finished yet.
We haven't got the whole picture yet, right? So the next important thing is what's the average sales value? So what do we mean by that?
So each customer in the A campaign is spending roughly in that first transaction 500 with us. Each customer out of the B campaign, on average, is spending 1,000 with us. So now we start to think, B is actually bringing in some better sales. We've actually got the same amount of sales coming in from both, right?
Yeah.
100 times 500 is 50,000, and 50 times 1,000, 50,000. Both ads are generating us 50,000 worth of business.
Yeah, but if you just looked at the average sales value, you'd say you'd carry on with B because that's generating at £1,000.
Yeah.
So you got to keep on top of this, right? Oh, what's the next part of the story then?
Okay, so then we're starting to look at the profit yielded in the transaction. Now it's really interesting that A is giving average sales value of 500, but that sale is giving us 40% profit, right? £200 profit out of the 500. B is much less profitable in terms of each sale. But again, we're bringing the same amount of money and we're making 200 profit. The point is, of course, that A is getting 100 conversions here and they're each bringing in 200. Whereas B is getting 50 conversions here, they're each bringing in 200. And getting into these numbers, you're then saying, oh, actually A looks twice as profitable as B at this stage. But notice we've gone through several stages, Mark, before we're starting to really understand what's going on.
Exactly, and this is what we mean by test and measure, right? You got to keep score because it's a numbers game. So, okay, right, so there's a bit of a picture starting to emerge from a profitability point of view. But there's even a bigger picture than that, right? Which is lifetime value.
I love lifetime value. I have had arguments about lifetime value with a director I was working with, and I have to say, he just didn't get it. the lifetime value is what that client, that customer is going to spend in the lifetime of our business. And that's such an important, it's not what they're going to spend in this budget year. It's not what they're going to spend just as a result of this transaction. It's one of the most important numbers you can gain. What is this client going to spend with me over their lifetime with me? Because you can imagine, once you know that, you can easily work out some maths to justify or not justify your advertising campaign.
All right, Mark. So good stuff. Now, kind of on top of the referrals, right? You know, it always, you know, the cheapest form of advertising, or the cheapest form of getting a customer is to get a referral from somebody, right? I mean, it's not a strategy in its own right, but certainly word of mouth's not a strategy, but getting referrals is. So this gets interesting, where we get a different level of referrals now.
Yeah, and not on this chart, because we could keep going, is the quality of the referrals, right? I've had referrals from people that are absolutely sound, and you guarantee that's going to work in business. And I've had very nice referrals from some people that they just want to talk about stuff. So the quality of the referral is really important. On the face of this one, Mark, it looks like A's pretty good campaign. It's bringing us more profit, and it's giving us more referrals. But we might want to look at the quality of those referrals. We might want to tweak campaign B or roll out campaign B faster. There's stuff in there to think about.
Absolutely. So, you know, we're going to go into this in some more detail tomorrow, guys. Which one's the best ad? Which one? Answers on a postcard, please. Which is the winning ad, right? Which one would you back?
Oh,
It's not immediately obvious, right?
No.
To folks.
What is great, they're both bringing money, and of course in our trials we're going to find ads that just don't work, and so this is why the measuring is so important. We've got to know if they don't work, can it start again? Don't keep churning money into marketing if it's not working.
Yeah.
But do put in something that is working. Don't just stop it. Pick something that is starting to work.
But importantly, you know, this is how you get brilliant at sales and marketing, right? It's about doing the numbers.
Yep.
You know, you don't have to be a creative genius. It's about having lots of different marketing strategies in lots of different places and testing and measuring and figuring out what works. You know, when I worked in my corporate career, I had the benefit of having some enormous budgets, and you could go and do something called a marketing contact audit that would cost you £250,000, and it would tell the corporates exactly what they should be spending their marketing on from a scientific and a database point of view. But as owners of SMEs, they don't have the budgets to be able to go and do that stuff.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's trial and error.
Yep.
So, you know, you got to go and have 10 different strategies. You got to test and measure all of them, figure out the ones that work, understand the reasons why the ones that don't work didn't work, bin them and replace them with something that's similar to the ones that do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, be clinical about it. Start it, bin it, move on.
It's just a numbers game, folks.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, that's been testing and measuring. So, folks, there's a ton more great stuff like that over in our workshops on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on the YouTube channel as well. So just go and search for the Better Business Workshop. We'd love to see you over there, and you can get all of this content. By the way, folks, if you're watching this live, please like and share it. If you're watching it on repeat, then come and follow us as well. If you want to jump on a call and come and talk about your marketing strategies, then book a session with us over in Calendly. Go to calendly.com /Action Coach Milton Keynes, and we'd love to see you. And there's also a ton of information in terms of other programs that we're running. We've got some more online workshops coming up, which is going to go through all of this kind of stuff, a lot of different topics over the next few weeks, and we'd love to see you there. So all the details for that will be over in our social groups and on our website as well. So search for miltonkeynes.actioncoach.co.uk. All right, Mark, it's been absolutely brilliant to see you. We'll be here. It says Monday at 8 a.m. I forgot to change that slide. We'll be here tomorrow at 8 a.m., right?
We'll be back. We'll be here next Monday at 8 a.m. as well.
We'll definitely be back next Monday at 8 a.m. too, yeah. Mark, it's been brilliant to see you today. Wishing you a great day.
Sure,
and
you too.
Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
Have fun. I'll let you know how the beers goes, and you and I will get one very, very soon, Mark.
I hope so, Mark.
Yeah, good.
I hope so.
All right.
Be safe. Take care. Cheers now. Enjoy the beers. Bye.
Bye-bye.